I picked up this picture for $6.24 at Hobby Lobby in their clearance aisle. You can get a lot of these platforms of different things for very inexpensive, and they're great for different projects. Today I'm going to cover this with Wise Owl white primer. I'm using a Gen foam brush to apply this and allowing it to dry. Once dry, I'm going to add some Wise Owl Higgins Lake. And I'm going to make sure that I cover the entire board and allow that to dry. I found this placemat at Hobby Lobby. It was $4.99. It's made out of rubber and it's kind of like a lace. It's got these holes all over through the entire thing. So I decided to grab some joint compound. The brand does not matter. You can get joint compound at any hardware store, Lowe's. I always have a bucket around because I really like to use it in replace of salt wash if I'm just going to use white. You can't put color in this, but I'm going to take my rubber spreader and use it to pass it along this entire placemat. The stem was a little small, so I used my finger, and I just covered the entire pumpkin in my joint compound. Trying hard to stay just in the placemat and not get it on the board anywhere else. If you do, it just wipes off. It's not that big of a deal. When you remove your placemat, it's going to look like you don't really see the image too much. But as it dries, you see almost like a powder form of the imprint of the pumpkin along with some texture. So I'm taking some iron oxide from Wise Owl and a round tipped brush, and I'm just outlining all the portions that had no texture. And this is just going to allow me to outline the pumpkin and start giving it some shape. So it's kind of like a stencil when we do a letter and there's a part that's blocked out and then we go in and connect it. That's basically what I'm doing here. Now my iron oxide, I am dipping my brush in a little water so that my line is soft and a little watered down. And I'm just going through all these areas. And now you can see the pumpkin is starting to take some shape here. You can do this method with lace. I know a lot of you have seen me do it with tablecloths. Just very fun. See all that texture. So now I'm going to go in with some mandarina. And again, I'm going to use a flatter brush for this part, and I'm going to water that down on a plate. And I'm just going to pass it along all this texture and start filling in between the lines, the iron oxide. And I'm going to go in and fill the entire pumpkin except for the stem with the mandarina. You can grab some of these colors at chalkitupfancy.com and a 6-pack of the 2 ounces if you want to give Wise Owl a try. And then I'm going to go in with the iron oxide in the stem. And then with the iron oxide again, I'm going to do the same method and pass through the pumpkin again while the mandarina is still wet. It's going to kind of mix with that mandarina just a bit. And it's going to remain just like a nice and soft, and everything's going to kind of pull together. And now one last time, I'm going to go through with the mandarina and allow this to dry. So I found this stencil at Studio R12. It says grateful, thankful, blessed, and it has the wreath going around. I'm only going to be using the word blessed. I like the font on it, and I'm just going to tape off parts I don't want to use and tape down where I want to put the word blessed. And I'm going to take my black and a dabber and make sure the dabber's dry with the black. And just dab over the word blessed. Sometimes I use a second paintbrush just to hold down my stencil so it doesn't move up and down. It just keeps it nice and still. And then I'm going to remove that and then take an art brush and just brighten up my lines. And connect anywhere the letters had that space. Now I'm going to make these little black swirlies coming from the pumpkin, almost like those little vines that you can sometimes see on a pumpkin. And I'm just using an art brush to do this. And I'm just creating my own. And I'm using the black. And I'm just going to create 2 of these. And now I'm going to take the black, very dry brush, very dry brush of the black, and I'm just going to pass along randomly on my lines just to throw in a third color and just give it some dimension. My brush is very dry. I'm not making very pronounced lines. And I outline the stem with this dry black as well. I'm going to allow this to dry. Just loving that texture, guys. I love these types of projects. These are probably one of my favorites. I found these leaves at Hobby Lobby. They came in a pack of the black and white checked and burlap. And I just glued them to the top just to add a pop of color. And then I put a little bow of jute where the stems met. And just glued that right there. Again, where the 2 stems met, just to kind of neaten that up a little bit, I just put this little bow of jute. And that's it. Guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. For other tutorials, go check us out on YouTube. You can now watch all our videos at chalkitupfancy.com. For any paint products, tissue paper transfers, or mesh stencils, chalkitupfancy.com. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.